Okay, guys and gals, about 10 seconds of the obligatory disclaimer. If you want to read the whole thing, just pause the video. Okay, everybody, let's take a look at what is going on with the S&P 500. We often call that the stock market. Of course, it's not the only index, stock index. There are others, NASDAQ, Russell 2000. There's even other ones, Wilshire 5000 or whatever it's called, and umpteen other little tiny ones. But generally speaking, the S&P 500 is a decent gauge on what's happening with the stock market. And of course, we can't forget about the Dow Jones, the oldest of them all. But right now we're looking at the S&P 500 futures, which is a pretty good indication of the stock market. June 2022 contracts. Now we're on the daily chart, and this was the close on Friday, April 29th, I believe. Yes, because today is the 30th, I'm not, yes, April 29th, okay? So what was the closing price? 41, call it 41.19, okay? Is that a big deal? Yeah, it's kind of a big deal. Let's look at this price right here. I think it's 41.01. Okay, so here's an important spot in the market. Right there on that 4100. Because that's the bottom of that candlestick right there. That guy. Okay. So Friday's close got within, 117, 118 points, somewhere around there. So the point is it didn't go below it, right? But it's pretty close. Now, Monday or Tuesday is the theoretical bottom of this cycle right here. So I don't know about you guys, but this is spot on again. Look at that crazy accuracy of these cycles. My goodness, man, these cycles are a thing of beauty. Can you see that? This yellow arc, for those that don't know cycle analysis. Look at this. Wherever you see these two cycles come together, these two yellow cycles, so we're going to see a price low. Did we get a price low in this area? Well, heck yes, we did. Look at that price decline. Did we get a price low here what this one is? Of course we did. Oh my gosh, monster. Price declines. Did we get a price decline here? Yeah, we did. Remember that time back there in the summertime wherever, or actually, sorry, that was back in December. Okay. So how about this time over here? Did we get a price decline in this cycle coming over here to this one? Well, of course we did. So let me just make sure, because my math can be a bit sketchy sometimes, right? I'm not so good at math. I've got a 1. I've got a 2. I'm counting 3. Everybody remember count Dracula? 1, 2, 3. I got 4 cycles lows. 4. Let's see. Did they all come through? Let's see. That would mean there was 4 out of 4 times. Even this one over here, did it come through? Yes, it did. That equals, everybody knows what this is? Yes, 1. It's 1. And in percent world, we call that 100%. Counted. Yes, 100%. Oh, that's very good. Okay, so that's my best Count Dracula voice. Sorry, that's all I can do. So is that a big deal? Well, of course it's a big deal. It means these freaking cycles have been so crazy accurate that I could almost fall asleep at the wheel and it'll drive itself, and so can you. Well, we shouldn't do that. Making those kind of assumptions can be dangerous. But lately these cycles have been spot on. And did I make any money during this last cycle? I did. I had made one trade because I've been busy with my day job. But I made one trade, and I made about $630, guys, on one E-micro S&P 500 contract. Am I happy? Yeah, sure, I'm happy. I took that 600 bucks and it helped pay some of my margin down on my account because I have a margin balance because I bought some corporate bonds and some other stuff. Okay, so I have a bit of a margin balance, but nothing that's not manageable. So it just helped pay down my margin. I mean, come on. I could have used it to buy groceries, gas, pay rent, whatever. Okay? It's just money management. I think I made a short trade somewhere in one of these 2 days. And yeah, I think I made it on this day, and I sold it on that day. And why not? Okay? So what the heck is going on with this stocky market? Look at this crazy run of cycle low dots. You know. By the way, for those that are not on the Discord server, yesterday I bought myself an I bond, I series bond. One of my members was asking about the I bonds. Okay, this is a government issued type bond, and if you're on the Discord server, you can look through the channel. I think it's called member chat or something. Okay, and you can go and look on there, and you'll see I made a purchase. It was a $500 I bond purchase because, unlike the old days, you can buy bonds at any price you want. Anything above 25 bucks. You could buy it at 25.01. That's right. Anything above $25 electronically. If you go on I think it's called Treasury Direct. I'll just put TD. No, not TD Ameritrade. Treasury Direct. You look that up. You can buy an I bond. So I bought one yesterday for 500 bucks. It's projected they're going to pay like 9.6% or some crazy amount, 9 point something percent. And I won't type, this video is not about I bonds, although maybe I will do one. But just real quick, if you hold it you have to hold it for at least a year before you can sell it. If you sell it before 5 years, they're going to penalize you 3 months worth of interest. So those are the main points. But at 9%, I mean, okay, I'm willing to take that risk. If I have to sell it after holding a year, and let's just say the price of the bonds or the rate of the bonds comes down, I probably still make 6-7% of the bonds, so I really can't complain. It's basically on par with speculative corporate bonds right now, so it's a good deal. Okay. So if you got $25 or more, I bonds I think are a good investment right now. Just be aware that you may have to sell them, within a year or two or whatever. Okay, so let's take a look at this. What is happening? When's the next cycle low? Because I have no reason to change these cycle brackets, or what we call cycle arcs. Okay, the next one is 622 over here. Okay, and I think I'm going to get rid of the green one because it looks like it's not really playing out. These are pretty long cycles right now, 35 trading days. So this cycle's pretty long, 35. Wow, that's longer than normal, guys. That's a long cycle. For those that want to know the dates, here they are, June 22nd. So it hasn't changed. If you look at last week's video, you're going to get the same dates, 6/22 right there. Okay, 6/22. Okay, that's the next daily cycle low. Today we'll look at the hourly. I'll look at the monthly. I'll do the whole shebang on the S&P 500 today, okay? The whole shebang. The next one after that is still August 9th. So in case anybody missed last week's video, this hasn't changed. August 9th, that's the next one after that one. Those are the next projected cycle lows, okay? Approximately within a few days, right? So Monday or Tuesday is expected to be the low, but look at this. Look at this craziness on the Big Daddy MACD day. Look at this gap. And the shorter term indicators like the Big Daddy forecasts and the SMI, they have just exhausted themselves. Babamski. So down here around negative 89, which is what that is right there, negative 89, right above that dashed line. Could get down to that. MACD could come down to that line, so there may be some more room to go here. We'll see. If the cycles go according to plan, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever, we might see a little more decline and then the old bouncy bounce. Okay, the big thing, guys and gals, for me, far as what's going to happen out in the future as we go out into the summertime and autumn, and what's something I'm looking for. We'll look at the monthly as well, but if we get below this right here, 4,100, because that's that candlestick back there. If Monday or Tuesday, if we get below, I'm not saying we will because I have no idea if we will, but if prices, if there's a little bit more left in this downtrend here coming into the cycle low, and we get below the 4,100, that changes a lot of things. If we don't and stay above it, and let's say Monday starts trading higher, and that's because this Friday could have been the end of the cycle, it's very possible, and we start trading up over the next few days, and it gets aggressive and comes way up and gets above this 50. Okay, then we'll know for sure it's a cycle low, obviously. Okay, so that's what I'd be looking for. I'll be looking to see if there's any downward pressure left in this cycle to get below 4,100. Okay, that would be significant. The thing is, this is a long lower wick tail. This one candlestick back here. So this one over here is kind of significant too. That was at 41.29. And this did get below that one. This candlestick right there got below that candlestick. But it didn't get below this one. Okay? So it's right between those two, more or less. So this is really close to being a pretty significant sign that prices will decline even more. We're not quite there yet. That prices would continue that what I'm really talking about is this thing going on. Okay. So this is, let's take a look at what we call candlestick shapes. Not patterns, they're a little bit different. Okay, we're going to look at candlestick shapes, patterns is fine, I guess. But we're going to look at significant shapes. Let's take a look at this. We got this guy going on like this, okay? And we'd like to see three connecting points, but we got two, so that's at least something. And we got this. It's kind of not flat, a little bit up, like kind of like that, okay? So that's the deal. Your typical triangle that's been going on for months. Okay, if it breaks out of this triangle, guys, which I'm not saying it will, okay? If it breaks like hard below this triangle for the next couple days, that's a different. It's going to tell a different story. But if it doesn't, if it just kind of sits on this line, okay, and we start getting this, then I would expect this to come all the way up to here. Okay, it might get above it a little bit or a little below it, whatever, but just kind of ballparking this. If you want to know my thoughts on this, the last week of May, I'm expecting about 4,400. Okay, if it follows its pattern. Okay, so last week of May, guys, in the middle of this cycle, about 4,400, maybe a little more, 4,415. It could be a little higher, it could be a little lower. Okay, that's my instinctive thoughts based on what I'm seeing here. Okay, you see it comes down, it goes up, it comes down, it goes up, it comes down. Everybody get me? Is that an oscillation or what? I mean, just like we see in so many things in life. Look at this crazy, predictable oscillation. I talk about it all the time. We see it in solar cycles, this exact oscillation. We see it in electromagnetism or electricity, this exact oscillation. It's the same thing throughout nature, over and over and over again. Okay, so there it is. There is the big old picture. Okay, so I think the chances are kind of low that we'd break really hard below this, but it could happen. If we break really hard below this, and there's this, guys, man, this is a bit sketchy, right? This thing is like a gaping faucet. Like there's just water waiting to pour out of this thing. You follow what I mean? That thing's going to have to tell me a different story because right now it's just saying one thing, that way. Okay, so, but it can change. Look how quickly it changed over here, see? You get that, then boom, it crosses over. All right, so we're looking for the crossover. And I'm inclined to think it's probably going to happen. Okay. So that's the deal. And if it does play out like I think it might play out, then 4,400-ish by the end of May. So for those traders that only can trade long because you can't trade futures, you don't have a margin account, or you just don't have enough assets or cash, and you're stuck trading long only kind of thing, and you don't want to get into reverse ETS because they lose value like nobody's business. I don't trade them because they get readjusted frequently, and they almost always lose value, so I don't touch them. So if you want to trade long, I would just wait. Okay? Wait to see what this cycle is going to do. Where are we at here? May, first week of May. Just keep an eye on that first week of May. Is it going to ride up? Is the price going to start riding up the edge of this cycle? Is it going to start doing that? Yeah, then maybe you can take a long. Okay? But you need the big daddy. You need the MACD to do the old crossover. Okay? And above zero, guys, would be much better. It's tough to trade below the zero line. Tough to trade below that zero line in the MACD. All right? So those are my thoughts, kind of looking at this long term, all right? You've got the 2 daily cycles. You can pause the video, reverse it. That's the oscillation I'm looking at. We'll see if it plays out, okay? Let's go look at the monthly. Oh, monthly schbumpfully. Let me change my drawing set over to monthly. Man, this is a sign of ugliness for the stock market. There's just no two ways to put it. Look at this thing. Okay? That is ugly. Yes, sir, it is. What is this date here? Because there's another cycle in here. Yeah, that one's all the way out on 8/29. This one's out at 6/30. Okay, so basically, this is a very large time frame. I talk about this all the time, so don't be too dogmatic about this time frame. But, going into summer, autumn, yeah, geez. Again, I've been saying this. I'm going to say it again. I can see 3,700 happening, guys. Fairly easily. I could see this coming down here, even breaking below it. I can test that you take that number right there and just divide by 2. Pretty simple stuff. Somewhere right around 2,404. And I think that's where we're headed. Long term, that may take this is all of 2022 right here. So it may go into 2023 before it starts really showing up. But I think that's what's really going to happen. I think that's where we're really headed. I just see this pricing in this area right here. That's 3,000, and this is 2,500. Okay, I could easily see in the prices in that area. So it could be 2,700, 2,800, but I think 2,400 is possible long term. All right, let's go look at the hourly. What's happening with the hourly? Do these cycles make sense? Oh, big doggone cycle. Cycle's huge. Huge. Man, look at that thing. Let me get rid of the dots. As usual, they're messing up my hourly chart. Turn that off for a little bit. Okay. Let's take a look at this. Wow. Crazy. Right? Hello. Look at that, right in the middle of the cycle. But bam. Hello. Wow, this is nuts. I'll tell you what. I'll be keeping a close eye on this hourly chart to see if this has changed. But, man, if I didn't know better, there is trouble brewing here, man. The only thing I could say here is maybe the hourly cycles change, and that's very possible when you get these big price declines. The hourly cycle could have changed here. It's possible we got a change in behavior right here. But if not, then watch out, because this is going to get ugly. Look at this thing. I mean, we're not even near it yet. May 2nd at 10 a.m. and look at this massive decline. Man, oh man. See, I said on the daily chart that we could get below 4,100, and man, this is looking like that's what it's going to do. I mean, we're not even at the end of this hourly cycle yet. So man, if I had to throw it out there, guys, just throwing it out there, that there's a decent chance that Monday, Tuesday, we could get below 4,100. I don't know. We'll just see. This looks like to me this hourly cycle is not done. But they've been known to change. Let me change the time axis so we can zoom in on the. Let me just bump this out to 500. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Yeah. So that. You see this over here? Right? And the MACD said, oh, we're not done yet? Yeah, I think that's possible here. See what I'm saying, guys? That's kind of what I'm seeing here may be possible on this MACD. That sucker right there. Okay, so I don't know if that's going to happen. I wouldn't short this because it's way too risky. We're so close to the end of this cycle. There's no way I would short this right now on the futures or any kind of inverse index fund or ETF. I wouldn't mess with it. I'd wait to see what happens going into like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, even not this Monday, but the next Monday afterwards. Yeah, kind of that late in the week, next week, or at least wait till the middle of the week. But I'd like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, at least wait till then to see what the stock market's going to do. Because on that daily chart, we had the cycles like that, right? On the daily chart, it looks like somebody's butt, doesn't it? Oh my gosh, he drew a butt on the chart. Oh my gosh. But anyway, I'd wait because the price could come down and kind of just sit sideways in that valley for a while, for a few days, and then finally come out of it. You follow what I mean? So you got to be really patient on the daily. Okay, let's look at this hourly. So if you want to know, May 2nd, 10 a.m. That's what that is. May 2, 10 a.m. That's that guy. Okay. May 5, 6 p.m. Now here's the thing about these hourly cycle lows. If the market's going to push up into that new cycle, man, you got to be super careful. These cycle lows won't have as much significance on the hourly chart. Everybody understand what I'm saying? 6 p.m. 6 p.m. You got to watch that. If the daily chart, let's just say this was a daily chart. If prices start to come up next week and they start going up like that, then here on this hourly chart, you got to be really careful about trying to take advantage of these cycle lows because they won't have as much impetus behind them. Because the daily chart's going to be pushing upward, and you might have prices might get up here and then kind of do a little dip on the hourly, but they won't be as strong as let's say that. They might just be like half of that, and then push up again. So you be really careful trading the hourly chart when the daily is green. And the daily chart's like filled with green. You gotta watch it. But you could take advantage of that coming out of the hourly low. Okay. But again, I'd really be cautious next week. If it was me, I wouldn't even trade next week. I would not trade Monday, Tuesday, maybe even Wednesday. I just wait. I just want to see what the cycle does. That's how sometimes you just got to be patient. Okay, what's this third cycle? May 11th, 1 a.m. 5/11, 1 a.m. Now remember, this is Texas time, Central Standard Time here in Texas. Okay. Next one after that, May 16th at 8 a.m. So May 16th, okay, 8 in the morning. Okay. And then this next one, which is going to be kind of jack up the chart, but I'm going to keep my eye on it right there. This one right here. May 19th, 4 p.m. That's that one. That's the next one after. 4 p.m. Okay? So that should give you some pretty good hourly chart stuff to kind of sink your teeth into. Okay? Just remember, like I said, if the daily chart is green, which it very well could be middle next week, late next week, even the week after it, as that new cycle takes hold, if it takes hold, then use this hourly chart with a grain of salt, but be more inclined to maybe take advantage of long side trades, very short term, because this market is super sketchy, man. This market does not look healthy. And I think long term, I'm going to finish up with the going back to the monthly chart. I think this market is in for a huge, massive bear market. Okay, let me stretch this out a little bit. Stretch it out some more. I think the MACD monthly chart, S&P 500, look where this MACD is. It's got to come all the way down here. Think about how long it took to go from this point right here to here. Okay? That was May of 2020. And to get to here was December of 2021. More than a year, guys. So 5 to 12, a year and 7 months. Let's call it a year and a half. Okay, so think about it. Right here is a year and a half at the peak of the MACD. Let's say that was December. So a whole year would be December of 2022. Add another half year, probably like May. May or June of 2023. Okay? So somewhere like right in here. This line. Not quite halfway into the year, but almost. Okay? For this to take place. So think about it. Chug, 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 all the way down to there. And and this could roll over even harder. It's hard to say, but I'll just throw it out there. There's 3,600. And I think that's being conservative, but okay. I've been saying 3,700 forever and a day. I think we will get below that. So I think bear market's coming. It's going to play out. I think it may be. Sometimes bear markets are fast. I mean, look at this. It just took 3 months. Slow going up, fast coming down, right? We see it all the time. Slow going up, fast coming down. Slow up, fast down. Slow up, fast down. So you might see this like even here before the year's over. Okay, before the year's over, 3,600, 3,700, somewhere around there. Could happen. Usually that's what happens. All right, so I expect a bear market. Pretty significant one. We're so elevated up here. This is craziness. Inflation. You got the George Soros group and the loosely associated criminals are in and around the George Soros group and others. Okay. They are attacking the food chain supply here in America. I don't know if I talked about this before. They burnt down 16, I think it was 16 food processing plants. Or at least had a fire at them. They've told farmers who grow the grains, who get subsidies here in America, they told them to destroy their crops, otherwise they don't get their subsidies. I could go on and on and on, guys, of things I don't talk about on this channel because I try to keep it financial, and some people get upset with me because I'm talking about politics. This has nothing to do with politics. This has to do with criminal activity by the worst of the worst, that are affecting your life. And many people don't even know it. Why? Because it doesn't hit the main propaganda outlets. Oh, I'm sorry, the mainstream media. So if they couldn't get you through the virus, they'll get you through food shortages. If they don't get you through food shortages, they'll get you through fuel, like gasoline and diesel shortages. Russia is going to stop exporting fuel to Europe. I just read about that. As a matter of fact, it was on the Discord server. One of my members put up a link. They're going to stop flowing oil to certain parts of Europe. And since our great selected president we have here in the United States has stopped oil exports, which under Trump were flowing, but under Biden, for some reason, they think it's a bad idea that America produces its own oil and becomes energy independent. I wonder why that is. So don't be a chump. And don't get upset at me just because I bring the true observations. If you just take a moment to observe it for yourself, instead of being caught up about which political party you're associated with, just look at the facts, man. Don't be a chump. Okay, let's take one last look at crude oil, and then I'm cutting out. I'm not really going to do a chart thing on this. There's your oil, $104. Look at this. Does this look like there's a crash in crude oil? What do you think is going to happen when Russia stops flowing crude to the EU? When Russia does that, no more oil flowing. They're not equal. Do not enter. What's going to happen to crude? I don't know. Is the price going to go crazy? Is it going to do this? Where is Europe going to get its oil? Is it going to get it from the Middle East? Well, I mean, it either comes from America or it comes from the Middle East. I mean, Venezuela could produce some. So those are things to contemplate, man. We're living in some times right now. There's some crazy stuff going on. But I know who I trust, and it sure the heck ain't no person on the face of this earth. I do not put my trust in mankind. I put my trust from above. And you all know who I'm talking about. Hope you all enjoyed the video today. That's all I got. Happy trading. Be smart. Love one another. Forgive one another. We'll talk to you all real soon again next time.